Hello again, folks. Welcome back to another HB Gaming GameLINK video. We are back recording. We are having a lot of fun in the process. Today I have a Kickstarter Deluxe unboxing for you. We are going to be teaming up with our fellow librarians, trying desperately to use our noodles to come up with solutions to the problems as we beat back the villains that are set upon us as we tackle the organization known as the Illiterati. Hello my friends, welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, and you should by now, my name is Matt and I am here to take you through some epic board gaming content. Now this is one that was produced by our friends at Gap Closer Games, who manufactured the ever epic Rival Restaurants and Rival Restaurants Back for Seconds, which I'm very excited to say is coming soon to hvgaming.com.au, so get on there and order your copies if you haven't already. We are taking a look at their new one, which is Illiterati, which is a word lexicon style creation game. You are librarians trying to take on the forces of evil and stop illiteracy from taking over the planet, which is a wonderful cause and one that I would wholeheartedly accept. Now this is the deluxe edition of the game. This is 1 to 5 players, about 30 minutes from memory, designed for 7 and up, so it's a good game to get kids into learning spelling, that sort of stuff as well. We're going to open up the plastic and take a look, except my knife did not do it justice. Now this is interesting because there's a few obviously things in here that are not in the deluxeified version. And I will say too, the deluxeified version is not a standard box. Plastic of course goes on the floor. The standard box would have an unlidding where you lift the box off, that's fine. This is not the same. I'll shut that up on the overhead for you. Boop, there it is. This is, as you see, deluxe edition, the Illiterati, sorry, very excited. There is a plethora of nasties who are going to be cutting up letters and causing trouble. This guy features as a chef in the Back for Seconds expansion as well, which is very, very cool for Rival Restaurants, that is. Effectively, yes, get some books, make some words, have a wonderful time doing it, and watch out for those nasty ravens. Let's see, how do we open this one up? I've got this little pull tab here on the side, which is awesome. Volume 1, scratch marks. It's set up like a library book. Really dig it. Let's see what's in store. We have... I love it. It's so cool. All right, so I'm going to put this one back up over here. There you go. I can stand right over there. Brilliant. Now, again, very simple concept. Components, they're deluxeified components because it's a deluxe edition. Rulebook, which is obviously very handy. This is all bits and pieces about the information on the other games from Gap Closer's website, including Rival Restaurants, which we love. You can check that out here. That's an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. All right, so at its core, it is a word building tile placement game, and that is what these are all for. There's a bag, a plethora of huge amount of tiles of all sorts of shapes and colors. What else we've got in the box? We have the bag. This is a token bag, and there's a red token bag. There's 2 bags, one red, one blue, one black, sorry. I wonder why that's different. It could be one for cards, one for tiles. We'll see how we go. We'll pop those up there. They're very nice. The embroidery on there is pretty fantastic. I don't know if that's going to do it justice, but they're very, very well made. Again, deluxeified components, can't go wrong. We have a series of player aids for the Illiterati. These look like bookmarks of some description that'll give you different artwork for the different villains of the Illiterati that you will come up against as they try to thwart your librarian-like schemes. And then we have the, the all-important and ever-deadly timer. Plastic, of course, can join that one on the floor. Now, this is a pretty beautiful timer. I think it's about, is it 3 minutes, I think? But it does the job. 3 minutes to do the rest of the unboxing, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how we go. And then we've got this lid that comes off there to keep all of these components in check, including some deluxeified bits and pieces. We have Let's see, what have we got? We've got the Raven board, or the burn tracker. And the burn tracker, from what I understand, means you get the opportunity to burn one of the letters on the table, obviously at some detriment, but also it lets you reset the board and draw more letters from the bag, from what I understand. I do like this. The Illiterati, their mantra is making books never more, which I think is fantastic. And that's a nice little double-layered thing there. Some promos. Colonel Absolute Feast, that's the card for the expansion for Rival Restaurants. Chef's card there, so we'll pop that one to the side. We have a little chef token. Again, this little standee is not for this game, that is for Rival Restaurants, but I kind of like this as a first player marker. That can go on the floor. Then we have some cards, books, things like that. This has got a little pull tab on it. Let's see, we're going to get anything else in there. Nothing else in the tray. Always got to check because they pack things in absolutely everywhere. I do like as well the fact that it's got a little bookmark, looks like a book on the back of it, because reading is hard and knowledge is power. The threat of the Illiterati, I should say, is very, very real. All right, I love the fact that it says Volume 1 on the box, which means there could be expansions in the works too, and why not? They've done very successfully with their past Kickstarters. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so we've got here the Corsair. So these cards are going to be books, cards, all sorts. We have some Illiterati, the Basil Movado, the Corsair, Scourge of the Seven Seas. Anyone who has a 3-letter word must discard 2 letters from any of their words. That is, and then you've got level 2, Dead Men Tell No Tales. So they grow with increasing difficulty as the game progresses. X marks the spot. As a team, discard letters equal to twice the number of R's in play, including any that are in the library. Pillage and Paper Cut. Professor Absalom Faust, I should say, Spoilers of War. Anyone who has a wild letter must discard 2 letters for every wild they have. These guys are nasty. I like that. Detention is too good for you. Minerva Fontaine, the headmistress. She's slicing and dicing with her claws there. Gosh. Persephone Vile and Furbius, I should say. The Terrible Twosome. Sic 'em Furbius. Going to definitely cause some trouble. That is brilliant. Fiora Ironclad, a cast iron combustion. She's burning letter tiles. And then you've got the actual books themselves. So the books are red and blue, and I think there's a player aid or a library card as well. And they give you different instructions on what words are that you're trying to complete. A Tale of Two Kitties. You need to have 4 words or 4 tiles that rhyme. Or 3 in the final chapter. It was the best of felines. It was the worst of felines. So these are different books that give you different build rules for your words. Each player has to complete these words in order to move on. And I think if you use the burn tracker too many times, the game is over and the Illiterati will win. But there is a plethora of cards that will cause absolute chaos. Then in the red books, you have... The red books are torched, these ones are waterlogged. That's that they're referred to, so I don't know whether that's because you can see there's flames around the sides, where these ones are all wet. Things that live underwater, and again, different tiles for different things. The 8-letter words, and there's blank ones you can make your own. That's cool too. I love that. That is fantastic. You've got the library cards, which gives you a bit of a help aid, I think, from memory. Letter count, distribution, difficulty levels. So letters per round. Normal difficulty is 10 and 7, and then hard, legendary, etc. Library limit 3. Burned letters allowed 3. Number of books per player 2. Clear library for final chapter. No, you don't have to do that. And then for 1 player, you get 10 letters. For 2 to 5, you get 7. And then obviously different difficulties based on that. The distribution of the letters and the symbols in the bag of goodies over here. So it lets you know what you've got. You've got 1 Q out of all of them, 144 tiles total. And then you have a library card. And this basically says the sports terms. Use at least 8 letters to spell any sports terms. You must use at least 3 of those particular symbols. That explains the methodology and iconography on those cards. 1 6-letter word with at least 3 hearts. Animal will do the word. Letter, wild, word. Exactly how that all works. And then on the back, you've got a round order. Draw letters, 10 or 7. Build words, 3 minutes to do so. Use all letters as a team to survive the round. You will often have to spell words that are unrelated to your book to survive to the next round. Each round you receive new letters, making it easier to complete the books you're given. Illiterati attack phase after the book binding phase. Move any unused letters to the library. If the library limit is exceeded, randomly place 1 letter on the burn tracker. So if you don't use all your letters, you have to discard them. If the library has 3 letters, in that difficulty board we saw that the library has 3. If the library already has 3 letter tiles in it, they get placed here. If you fill the burn tracker, you're out. The game is over. Wow. If you Illiterati attack phase victory, all players must bind 1 red and 1 blue book as a team. Draw 1 final book, your choice. Final chapter must be bound individually by everybody in the same round in order to win the game. That could be very tricky, but as long as your words are complete and they are definite words that fit the bill, you can keep those letters for the next round, which I think is probably a winning strategy. All right, let's have a look at some tiles. Not a lot to the game in terms of its components, but it does look fantastic. Good table presence, which I dig. Obviously, those of you that have watched the channel will know how much I appreciate good table presence. And again, deluxeified components, silica gel, don't eat that. Know that I appreciate extra bling. All right, so these ones, I'm assuming this is going to go all in the bag. The tiles themselves, there's a wile for you. That can be any symbol. They are wooden, as opposed to a chipboard or a punch board, which is fantastic. I'll get a wile one out for you as well. So they have these symbols on them. Some of the words you need to make will have requirements. You must use so many symbols, etc. Different colors. You've got green, you've got purple. And they make a good tactile feel, which I dig. I like that. And there's a ton of wild symbols, all sorts in there as well. Obviously risk versus reward, because there are some of those nasty Illiterati villains who will use those wild tiles against you, which I think is also fantastic. Mix them up in the bag, draw them out as you go, and get set to have a crazy game of world building under pressure. But that is it for Illiterati. That is everything in the box. Great world building game. I do want to get a playthrough, even if it's just solo of this one for you. So check back when we post that on the channel. Otherwise, folks, it would be remiss of me not to do what we usually do and give you a bit of a flyover about how this game looks when it's set up for let's say a 3-player game, 4-player game. Let's do 4 players. So without further ado, let's roll that footage. And there you have it. As you can see, my time is almost up on the timer here. So Illiterati, I think it's going to be a game that is going to be just as successful, if not more successful, than Rival Restaurants. It's a great wordplay strategy game where it's frantic chaos and fun, and that is what Gap Closer games have been known for. Until then, folks, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any comments, if you've played this one, what are your thoughts on the villains, etc., please let us know in the comments below how you have fared. As always, folks, if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, by all means, please pop them down in the comment section below, and I'll get back to them whenever I get a chance. Otherwise, click that like and subscribe button so you can stay in touch and stay aware whenever we post anything new, particularly because we have been on a little bit of a hiatus. We will see you back here for some more epic board game fun in the not too distant future, my friends. Get out there, play more games, be social, look after each other, and always be kind, always and forever. We'll see you back here for more epic board game content very, very soon. Until then, my friends, it is bye for now.